Hello there, folks. Spunky Cook here, aka your Lonely Achievement God, continuing our From Zero to 1000 Achievement Hunting series for the Nonary games, the collection of games from Zero Escape. We finished 999 in our previous playthrough, or previous video, and we are now moving on to VLR, and I'm going to jump in here. So just choose Virtue's Last Reward at the main menu and press A to jump into it. And there's an opening cutscene if you want to watch it. And now that we're at the main menu, I'm going to go into options, and there are the same options we had for the other game. Voice acting can be English or Japanese. You can skip text or don't. For us, we're going to skip everything, and your cursor speed is up to you. I actually found normal to be best again because there are a couple smaller items that you can miss, and it can be a little annoying if your cursor speed is too fast, but that's personal preference. So let's go over Virtue's Last Reward before we go any further. Virtue's Last Reward came out 3 years after 999, and instead of being on the DS, it was on the 3DS and the Vita, so it is a little more graphically advanced. It also has a lot more to it. There are something like 30 different endings that you can run into, which is why I decided to make this walkthrough and narrow it down. The basic premise of the game is exactly the same as 999. 9 people wake up, have to work together to escape. There are rooms that you progress through and solve puzzles, blah, 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 just like the first game, and eventually we will be working towards a true ending in all of the achievements. 29 of the achievements we have remaining are for getting all of the VLR achievements, and the 30th is for getting every achievement in the game. So basically, from this point on, all you need to do is play on hard difficulty, which I'll show you how to switch to that, although it should default to that normally, and then solve every room, go through every flowchart spot. If you want to do everything on your own, feel free. But this guide is for those of you that want to go step by step with me. Everything skips significantly faster than 999. So despite the fact that this is probably 2 or 3 times the content, if not more than that, it's going to take us maybe another 40 minutes to an hour more than 999 did to get through. So we're looking at 7 to 8 hours overall, but that does include me talking to you. So if you take that time out, it is significantly faster because I'm an airbag. 99% of this is exactly the same. You're going to have story sections, you're going to have escape sections. The only things you have to be careful of are the escape rooms don't automatically have you exit. You have a safe in each escape room, and you input a password. There's a 3x3 grid of blocks, and you have to input a password. It's always going to be 3 symbols. And there's 3 different symbols that can show up. So there can be a sun, a star, or a moon, and they can be in any configuration. It is always random for your playthrough. The good news is these passwords, once you figure them out, are saved in your archive, and when you open up the safe, zoom in on it to try to put the password in, you can open your archive and check what the password is, and then back out and put the password in. So you don't need to write any of the passwords down. The only other thing you need to take note of is there are a couple of passwords that are global for the entire game, and the game does not write these down for you. Now, they do not change from playthrough to playthrough, so as long as you're following along with me, I will tell you the passwords when we get to where we get to. But keep in mind that if you're doing things on your own, there are some passwords that you're going to want to write down. That's all I'm going to say. Everything else is basically we're just going to go through, solve things, jump around. We're not going to get every ending. There are character-specific endings, good and bad. We're only going to do one bad ending, and then we're going to do all of the characters' good ones, skipping the rest of the bad ones. So that's basically what we're going to be doing for the playthrough. I think that just about covers it. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We only spent like 5 minutes on an intro. That's not too bad. We're probably looking at about an hour, 50 minutes, 2 hours per video here. So let's go ahead and just get started. We're going to get a cutscene, and I will go through the basics of this game in the first portion of it. You can skip the text, and as I said, we're going to. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for me to tell you when you should read and when you shouldn't because of how many different twists and turns there are in this. So it might be best if you're reading to just take things slow, and the next time you have to interact, then you can fast forward the video. Because there's a lot more stopping and starting, cutscenes, dialogue, choices, etc. in this game. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm trying not to do that. But if you're trying to read and follow along with me, it's probably best to read until the next choice pops up, or dialogue, or room, or whatever, where you have to make a choice, and then you can let the video catch up so that you can continue on. For those of us that are skipping, we can just start skipping right off the bat. And again, you can press the X button to all skip if you have selected skip. Otherwise, you'll have stop and auto, like you see there. If you hit the select/view menu, whatever it's called now, button, that brings up your menu, and again, you can use this button to change how you're skipping text, stop, auto, and all skip. You have your log, which shows you the text you missed. I don't know how far back it goes. It might go all the way back. Right now, it goes all the way back. You can save at any time. The save system is a little better. You have different slots that you can save in. I think there's 30 in total. Again, you don't really need to make multiple save slots unless you're really concerned you're going to lose data if you crash. But as far as making multiple saves to, make achievements easier, it doesn't, because you can just jump around the timeline to wherever you need to go. So we have our flowchart. I'm not going to be going into this because, you can get a kind of an idea of how everything works, but it's significantly bigger than the last games. You have your memo where you can write things down. And you have your archive, which has help, secrets, which we'll be getting from the safes, passwords, which are the safe passwords, and the file system. And we have to get all 53, I believe there's 52 files, excuse me. All 52 files for an achievement. As long as you follow along with me, that is that, and there is one other achievement that can be missed if you go through on your own. The files are not required. If you know the solutions to rooms, you can miss some of the files. So I am here to make sure that you get all of the files on your first run through. You don't have to go back and replay any of the rooms. Although, again, I have the solutions for them, so they won't take long. The only other missable achievement is for getting all the secrets, which the secrets come from inputting a second safe password in. And again, I'm going to be giving you both safe passwords. I'm going to be helping you find both safe passwords because, of course, they are random. So that covers the basics of that. Just like the other game, we have the bottom right-hand corner where the text skip is shown, and we're going to start skipping again until we get to our first escape. And again, we're going to start with a little bit of a tutorial here. There is one file to find in this escape. There is no time limit. If you were reading you get told that the elevator is going to fall if you don't solve it. So don't worry about that. Just like the initial room in 999, there is no time limit. But again, like 999, we will be skipping a lot of the puzzle solutions. There are other guides that give you full walkthroughs of all of the escape rooms. I'm not doing that. We're trying to get through the rooms as quickly as possible. First things first, I'm not going to be telling you to skip text, so just press A through everything. Press the menu button again, and on the right, you should see hard highlighted in yellow. As long as you do, you are good to go. And as I said, I'm pretty sure it defaults to that. And so you will only change that if you go over and press A on it. You should start on hard. And there are achievements tied to playing on hard for everything. So it's not very difficult, especially if you have the solutions with you. In the upper left-hand corner, you see kind of a circle with it looks like a hand gripping it. That's your inventory. Right now we don't have an item, but you can use the right analog stick to change the item, and you can press Y to open up your inventory. As I mentioned already, unlike 999, we don't have a fixed position that we move the camera. We have to use the bumpers to kind of slide our perspective across the room. So what I'm going to end up telling you is that, if you're watching the video, you're going to be able to follow along with me. But in my text walkthrough, I'll be like, we're going to RB to the baby numbers, and then I'll tell you what to do if that's how you are following along with me. And of course, we have the cursor and the A button to interact with items. So we start off right about here. We're going to LB over until we see a fire extinguisher on the ground and get a little tutorial, and then we're going to interact with the pin. Press B twice, once to exit out of your inventory, and again to zoom out, and RB back to the red fire extinguisher box. Interact with it, make sure you have the fire extinguisher pin / key selected, and interact with the red box again to open the box. Well, unlock it. You might have to interact with it again. For whatever reason, this game does that quite a bit, where you have the thing equipped, and it tells you, ooh, I think you have the thing equipped, but it doesn't actually do the action. So you'll have to press A to zoom in on it, press A to get the dialogue about having the key, and then press A again to unlock it. Now interact with it again to open it, and now you can grab the box in here, and you're going to get a triangular tip. Press B, you'll get a square tip. Press B, you'll get a pentagonal tip, and press B to get a hexagonal tip. Press B after getting the hexagon twice to exit your inventory and zoom out. Interact with that red handle on your right here to zoom in. Interact with it again, and you'll get the handle red. Press B to zoom out, and then press B again. RB slightly to see the baby numbers. And you need to press the 4 button. That'll light it up. You'll get some text. Go ahead and press B to back out. And we're going to RB slightly again until we see the blue handle and interact with it twice to get handle blue. Press B twice to exit your inventory and zoom out. And we're going to RB all the way over to see a green handle. Interact with that twice to get green or handle green. Press B once, and then again to zoom out. RB slightly to the old person buttons, interact with them, and hit 7 to turn that on. This time we're going to press B to zoom out, RB slightly to see a yellow handle, and we're going to hit A on it twice to pick up handle yellow. Now press B twice to exit your inventory and zoom out. And we're going to interact with the poster on the wall. This is the first file in the game. And we've basically already solved the puzzle, but we need to interact with the poster so that we get credit for the file. Now we're going to LB back to the elevator control panel here and interact with this grate down at the bottom so that we zoom in. And now we have our first kind of puzzle. We need to match the tips we got to the screwdrivers. So we're going to do color-coded here. Press Y to open up your inventory, and we're going to find the green handle. Press Y on the green handle, and now we need to find the pentagonal tip. Press Y on it to combine them into the pentagonal socket wrench. Now find the yellow handle, press Y on it, and find the triangular tip. Triangonal wasn't going to work there. Triangular tip, and press Y to combine them into the triangular socket wrench. Go and find the handle blue, press Y on it, and then find the square tip and press Y again to make the square socket wrench. And finally, the red handle, press Y on it and combine it with the hexagonal tip to get the hexagonal socket wrench. Excuse me. In this game, you're going to want to get used to pressing B when you're in your inventory to highlight an item when you back out. So right now we have the hexagonal socket wrench equipped. If we press B, it will stay equipped and we can use it. That's going to be important quite often during this playthrough in my steps through. And sometimes there are a couple of items that you can't really distinguish between them in the small circle in the upper left. So you have to figure out what item it is by going into your inventory. So there's a couple of times where that happens. So get used to going going into your inventory, and then pressing B so that you have the item equipped. So we have the hexagonal socket wrench, and these are color-coded. So once you have the red handle wrench, interact with the red hexagon to get rid of the red screw or bolt. Press the right analog once, and that will get you the green socket wrench, and interact with the green pentagon screw. Hit the right analog once to get the yellow one, and interact with the triangular screw to take that out. And then hit right analog once to get the blue one, and interact with the square screw to take that out. Once all four of them are out, interact with the grate. That'll open it. And interact with this to start a puzzle. This is a tilt puzzle. It's going to be a bit frustrating if you don't know the solution, but luckily I do. So skip through the instructions. We're going to use the D-pad also. So hit right, hit up, hit right, up, right, down, left, down, right, up, right. And that'll solve the puzzle. And you automatically get the green memory card. Press B once to get out of your inventory, and then again to zoom all the way out. Interact with the panel buttons to zoom in, and press 0. That gets a blue memory card to pop out under the bunny head. So we'll zoom in, and you can interact with the blue memory card. Press B once to exit your inventory and zoom out, and this time press the 3 button. And this will cause a red memory card to pop out, so interact with it to get red memory card. We're going to press B once to exit our inventory, and again to zoom out. Now we need to RB back to this big machine we ignored earlier. Interact with the screen to zoom in. Make sure you should still have the red memory card selected, but if you don't, use the right analog to get the red memory card and interact with the memory card slots. This will turn on the monitor. Now select the green memory card with the right analog and interact with the slots. This turns the memory or the screen blue. So interact with it, and this is your first safe password. I'm going to stop real quick here just to go over these. Each room has a green safe password and a blue safe password. 90% of the time we're going to be putting the green password in first and then the blue one, but there are a couple of rooms that putting the green one in first causes you to finish, so just pay attention to which one I do first so that you don't miss out. There are a room or two where you can't put the blue one in second. So in retrospect, I probably should have switched everything so you did the blue one first, but we're usually going to be doing the blue one second. Also, as I said, this is a 3x3 grid. Your password is going to be different than mine. So you have to know what your passwords are. I can show you how to get to them, but what I input will be different from what you have to input unless you get really lucky and have all the same as I do, which would be crazy. The good news is, as I said, once you go to put in the passwords, the game remembers them, and you can check your archives to look at the password and then input it. So you don't have to worry about writing it down unless you really want to, because the game does remember it for you. And we'll go over putting the passwords in once we need to. Once the screen goes back to white, we're going to use the right analog to interact with the blue, or select the blue memory card and put it in the memory card slot. This will turn the screen green. Press A on it, and this will get you the green safe password. Again, this will be different for you than it is for me. Once you get all of those, press B to zoom out, and we need to interact with the safe twice. So interact once, and then a second time, you'll get some dialogue. And you'll go into a little screen. As you can see, we have a memo that we could bring up, which I think you could write down the passwords in if you needed to. You can hit retry if you screw something up, I guess. I guess not. Maybe not. So what you do is a moon takes 1 click, a star takes 2 clicks, a sun takes 3, and a 4th click makes it blank again, and then you can repeat the process. Once you have your code typed in, you hit this arrow on the right to input it, and if you are correct, you'll get a screen that says so, and the safe will open. The passwords are in the archive. Now, sometimes when you click on this, it'll bring you to like your files, so you may have to tab back to the password tab, and just remember what room you're in, because it doesn't automatically select whatever room you're in. Now, in this case, we just got the password, so the elevator is new, so we're going to hit it, and we're going to put the green safe password in. So we need to put, for us, a star, sun, sun in that configuration. So we're going to back out. We're going to put a star in, a sun in, and a sun in, and then we're going to press A on the arrow, and we put the green safe password in. That opens the safe. Press A on the safe again, and you're going to get the key found in safe. Press B once to exit your inventory. Press B again, and you'll see the safe close. Now interact with the safe twice again, and we need to put in the blue safe password. And as you saw that time, when we jumped back into the archive, for whatever reason, it put us on the file instead of in the password. So we need sun, sun, moon in that configuration. So we'll put that in. Again, yours is going to be different. And once we have it put in, the safe will open and there will be a good file, or a gold file. I do recommend reading these, especially if you are trying to follow the story. The information in them is quite useful. But if you're just skipping, all you need to do is pick them up. Once you have the gold file, you can press B to zoom out and hit LB to go back to the elevator panel. Interact with the monitor to zoom in up here. Make sure you have the key found in safe selected using the right analog, and interact with the little keyhole here. Once you get control, hit A on the lock again to open the panel, and then press A to hit the red button. And that is our first room done, and you will unlock your first achievement, Escapey, for 30G, bringing you to 250 out of 1,000. This is the significant dialogue portion of the game again. If you are on the fence about whether you want to read or not, this next section is the part you're going to want to read to see if the story grabs you. For those of you that are skipping, you can start skipping until we get a choice. It's going to be a bit, This is a very long introduction, but we skip significantly faster. So we're going to start skipping now. And again, there is a lot of exposition here. So if you were to try to read everything, you're probably looking at an hour to get to the next choice, depending on how fast you read, I suppose. Maybe not an hour. 30 minutes, somewhere in there. But you can see they put in 3D models for everyone, so there's depth to everything. And at the time they released this was the first of the games to have voice actors. 999 didn't have voice actors to start. And there we go. We've made it to our first door choice. We need to go through the yellow door with 10 Myoji. So go ahead and select that. You'll keep skipping after. And you'll have some dialogue once you get through the door until you start the next escape room. And we've made it to the infirmary. There are 7 files in this escape room needed for the achievement. So once we get all 7, we'll get up to 8. So we begin facing a monitor on a wall and a desk here. We're going to RB to a table with a basin here, interact with the basin to zoom in, and then grab the scalpel next to it. Press B twice, once to exit your inventory and again to back out, and RB to this shelving unit. We're going to interact with the upper portion to zoom in, and then grab the white powder to get jar containing white powder. Press B twice to back out, and below these shelves is this little panel here. Interact with it once to zoom in, and interact with it again to start a puzzle. Now, we're going to be skipping a lot in these rooms. Again, you're supposed to figure out the solution yourself, but the number is already available for us to use. So hit the blue one 5 times, hit the yellow 6 times, and hit the red twice. Hit check on the right, and that solves the puzzle. This is going to get you a file, which is file number 2 of 52. Interact with the panel again to start another puzzle. This time hit the blue button twice, hit the yellow button twice, and hit the red button once and hit check to solve it. This opens the left drawer and we get the clean plaid fabric. Press B twice to zoom all the way out. Interact with the right section down below here where my cursor is, and interact with it again to open it up and reveal a binder. We're gonna, or a clipboard, excuse me. Interact with it to pick up a memory card, and when you exit your inventory with B, you're gonna get file number 3. And once we're done, we can press B to zoom out. LB back to the basin table. We're going to use the right analog to select the jar of white, or jar containing white powder. Interact with the basin twice to zoom in once and then to drop the powder in, and that gives us an empty jar. Press B twice to zoom out, RB past the exit door, which is that, to a sink, and interact with it to zoom in. Interact with the faucet to turn it on, and once it fills up, interact with the water stream or the sink. You might just be able to interact with the sink to fill the jar with water. Press B once to exit your inventory and again to back away from the sink. RB to the second bed here, and we need to select the scalpel. So if you're having trouble seeing it, you can just go into your inventory and select it and then press B to have it selected. Interact with the second bed once to change your perspective. And then interact with the square, having the scalpel selected, to cut the fabric, and you're going to get dirty fabric. Press B twice to exit the inventory and back away, and LB all the way back to the basin. You're going to select your jar full of water and interact with the basin twice to drop or dump the water in. And then you need to select the dirty fabric next. So I recommend pressing Y to open your inventory and then selecting the dirty fabric, because it can be difficult to tell the difference between the two fabrics through the preview screen. So select the dirty fabric, press B, we'll have it equipped now, and you can press A on the basin to clean it. And that'll get you regular plaid fabric. Before you exit, hover over the clean plaid fabric and press B. That will keep it equipped. Press B again to zoom out, and LB over here to a cot. Since you have the clean plaid fabric equipped, interact with the square on the cot twice to place it. Press B once to zoom out, RB slightly so that you're facing the monitor, and interact with this screen to zoom in, and interact with the red button below to turn this on. Now we're going to interact with the scanner on top. And this starts a puzzle. This is very easy. You're going to have a cursor to move around, and you need to press A on these circles in numbered order. So start with 1, and it does take another second before you can scan the next one. So hit 2, hit 3, hit 4, and hit 5 to spell the word found, and then hit check to solve the puzzle. The screen is going to light up blue, and interact with it to get your blue safe password. Again, yours will be different. Once you regain control, press B to zoom out. Left bumper slightly to face the cot again. Interact with the square to pick up twice to pick up the fabric. And this time we need to select the plaid fabric. As you can see, the plaid fabric actually has different symbols on it, so make sure you have the plaid fabric selected, back out of your inventory, and now interact with the square to place the plaid fabric instead. Again, press B to zoom out and interact with the monitor. If you have to, you may have to RB slightly to see it. And then zoom in and interact with the handheld again. This time, there are no numbers there. So we need to hit the symbols in a certain order for the first 3 numbers, and then hit 4 and 5. We need to hit pill, bottle, and the mountain or triangle, whatever it is, and then hit 4 and 5. Once that's done, you spell cured and can hit check to solve the puzzle. This time the monitor lights up green, and we can interact with it to get our green safe password. We're going to press B to zoom out. Use the right analog to select the blue memory card. You may have to RB slightly, but we just need to interact with this monitor up here, and then interact with the arrows on the right, and then interact with the memory card slot. Press B once, and then interact with the monitor to get file number 4, and then press B to zoom out. We're going to RB back to this tall cabinet where we got the white powder. Interact with this bottom left section twice to zoom in and then reveal the safe, and then interact with the safe twice. Just like in the other room, we're going to put the green safe password in first, and ours is star sun star. Again, yours will be different, so put in whatever password you have. So we need a sun, a star, and a star. We're going to get a few more items out of this one. So interact with the safe, and you're going to get a map, which is file number 5 of 52. You're going to get an ambidex room key card, which is file number 6 of 52. You're going to get a rules page, which is file number 7 of 52. And you're going to get the key, the newspaper excerpt, excuse me. The newspaper excerpt is file number 8 of 52. Sorry about that, my eyes jumped a line. And then you'll get the key found in safe. Press B once to exit your inventory, press B again so the safe closes, then interact with it twice more. This time we need to enter the blue safe password from the infirmary. And again, yours will be different, but we need star, sun, and star. Now grab the gold file. One way to tell if you're not on hard difficulty is the files will be silver, I think, if you're on easy or whatever the other difficulty is. Once you get the file, press B once to zoom out slightly, press B again to zoom all the way out. We're going to RB back to the lock that is on the side of the exit door. Make sure you have the key found in safe selected with the right analog, and if you do, interact with the lock twice to escape. And we're just going to start skipping. We will have a choice coming up. So if you are reading everything, you can rejoin us at the choice. Otherwise, we're going to start skipping everything. So go ahead, once you get here, press A to start. I'm not going to go into this too much, but this game is basically the prisoner's dilemma, if you're familiar with that. Our choices don't really... Well, you're going to be following along with me. We have a rock, paper, scissors thing here. I just choose rock and I win every time, so I think you win no matter what. But feel free to choose rock so that you win like I do. And for our first choice, we need to choose betray. Again, if you are reading, you can keep reading until the next choice. If you're not reading, though, we can continue skipping. We're going to have a couple of choices coming up here. And as you can see, it skips so much faster than 999 did. Okay, and we get to these choices here. We have to choose all 3 rooms, so it doesn't really matter what order you do them in, but we're going to do them in order that they're listed here. So the lounge, the infirmary, and then the crew quarters. And eventually that's going to bring you to another escape room. So if you're reading, you can rejoin us at the next escape room. But if you're skipping, we're just going to start with the lounge and continue skipping through the other 2 rooms as well. We'll choose the infirmary there. And then choose the crew quarters. We aren't allowed to pick what door we want to go through because we picked Betray in our first round, essentially. So we end up going into the treatment center. There are 6 files in this room, so we'll get to 14 out of 52. If you need to, you can always go into archives and file and make sure that you have the amount of notes we have. So we have 8 right now. And as I said, we're going to get 6 out of this room. Real quick, though, I do want to warn you, we are skipping just about everything in this room. We won't even be going into the room in front of us. Just an FYI. So, if you feel dirty about skipping rooms, you're going to feel really dirty when we get done with this one. The game does allow us to skip everything, even though there's a portion of story that happens in that back room. But before you leave, the game makes you go over any of the important story stuff. So skipping the rooms doesn't cause you to miss anything. So you spawn in facing this room that we're never going to go into. We're going to hit LB until we reach a monitor. Go ahead and interact with it once, and then again to turn it on. And then we're going to need to interact with it a third time to get the illustration of a dice game. That's file number 9. Press B to zoom out. We're going to RB all the way past a door until you reach a clock. Interact with the top of the safe down here. We're going to interact with the binder on the left, and that will give us file number 10. And then interact with the tablet on the right to get a tablet. Immediately hit A on the tablet, and that'll bring up a password screen. And this is why we don't do anything else in the room. Go ahead and type PAST, and then hit check. The tablet's going to light up green, so we're going to hit A on it in our inventory to get the green safe password. Again, yours will be different. The screen's going to fade, and we're going to press A again to bring the password screen up again. And this time, we're going to enter POUR, P-O-U, and R. And then hit check. And the screen's going to light up blue, so hit A on it. And you'll get the blue safe password, again, different from mine. Press B to exit out of the inventory, and then interact with the safe to get to the password screen. We're going to enter the green password first, so hit Archives and open up your passwords. We need moon, moon, sun in that orientation. And then hit the arrow to enter it. Again, your password is different, but we're going to get quite a few items. Interact with the safe to start all the text. First is an injection gun. That's going to be file number 11 of 52. We're going to get a floor map for floor B, which is file 12 of 52. Eventually. You're going to get Moon card, which is 13, file number 13 of 52. And then you're going to get another rule paper, which is file number 14 of 52. and then you'll get the key found in the safe. Press B once to exit your inventory, and again to close the safe. Then interact with the safe twice more, and put in the blue password, which is sun, moon, moon for me. Again, it will be different for you. Grab the gold file, press B to zoom out. We're going to RB to the lock here. Make sure you have the key found in safe equipped, and interact with the lock twice to finish the room. Now, because we didn't go into that other room, the story has to happen. So Clover is like, "What are you doing?" Sends us back into the other room, and we take care of this important story stuff. If you want to read it, feel free, because we can't really skip it. But if you've been skipping everything so far, then you won't really know what's going on anyway. Interestingly enough, he says, "What if he gets smashed like the plant?" Although we never put the plant in on this playthrough. But anyways, that brings us to the end of the room. And we're going to start skipping again, leading up to the next AB game. So if you're reading, you can just read until the next AB game. Otherwise, we're going to start skipping. And we're going to go for our first and only bad ending. So go ahead and hit A on start. And once you get the choice, we're going to choose Betray again. And this is going to bring us to a game over, so read until the game over screen happens. For those of you that are reading, and you can rejoin us, we're going to skip right to the end, though. And this is going to unlock 2 achievements. Once we hit the game over screen, you can press A. You get every ending begins somewhere, which is 10G, and your 10th achievement for 260. And that wasn't supposed to happen, which is achievement number 11 for 10G, and you get you up to 270. Press A so that you advance beyond the game over screen. Save in whatever slot you'd like, and then press B to go back to the flowchart. And as you can see, the flowchart is massive. We're going to press up on the D-pad twice to be brought back to this last novel, which is the last AB game. Hit A once to zoom in on it, and it says AB game round 2. Then hit A again, and hit yes to restart it. Press A to start. If you are reading, you can skip all the text here. Similar to how in 999, when you read repetitive or repeated text, the game let you skip it. You can do that in this game too. So if you're skipping everything, it doesn't really matter. But if you're trying to read, you can actually hit the X button a couple of times to be able to skip this text, because it's all the same as it was the first time. So we're going to skip until we get back to the AB game again, and this time we're going to choose Ally. Again, there is nothing but text to the next ending, so when you see End pop up, you can continue on with us if you are reading. Sorry about that, I intended to stop that. I apologize. There's nothing but text to the end, so when you see End pop up, you know, for those of you that are reading, you can rejoin us there. For those of you that are skipping, we just keep skipping. This is one of the more interesting endings, though, so. This is our first ending, so unfortunately we can't skip the credits. And eventually, Clover End shows up, and you get your 12th achievement, Secret Agent Woman, for 30G, bringing you to 300 out of 1,000. Press A to advance. Again, you can save in whatever slot you want, and then press B to return to the flowchart. We're going to hit up on the D-pad 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Press A on this to see AB game round 1. Press A and select yes. And then, again, you can skip whatever text there is to the AB game starting. And we're going to choose Ally this time. And again, all of this is exactly the same. So you can skip a lot of that dialogue if you're reading everything. However, we have to go through all 3 rooms again, and the pairings were different. Sorry, not for this one. So you can actually do the lounge, infirmary, and crew quarters and keep skipping in the red if you are reading. Sorry about that. There's multiple timelines in this. So, depending on the door choice. So, I apologize for that. That's my bad. So, once you choose, again, we're going to choose all 3 of the rooms in order, regardless of whether you're skipping everything or not. You should be able to skip most of the text in these next 3 rooms. That'll bring you to another door choice. I'm sorry, going through 50 hours plus of this game to narrow everything down to 7 is making my head all wonky. And then choose the crew quarters. And again, you'll get through all the dialogue, and this time we were betrayed. So we're at a disadvantage and we get a choice of door. This time, we're going to choose go through the red door with Dio. And this will start the laboratory. There are 6 files in the laboratory. 2 are in the safe and the others are found while searching. That'll get us to 20 of 52. We're going to start facing the safe here. We're going to LB over here to a tray and interact with the tray to zoom in. We're going to grab the binder on the left to get file number 15. And interact with the binder on the right to get files 16 and 17. Now interact with the tray. You're going to get 1 empty capsule. Press B. You'll get another empty capsule. Press B and you'll get a bottle of seed. Press B twice to zoom out. We're going to RB past this microscope to see a screen. Interact with the screen and pick up the jar of seed behind it. Press B twice to exit your inventory and zoom out. You should see this indent back here with a jar of seeds. Click on it to zoom in. We're going to click on the jar to get another jar of seed, and then press B and interact with the binder twice to get file number 18 of 52. We're going to come back to this thing for now. We're going to ignore it. Press B twice to zoom all the way out and interact with the shelving in the center back here. Get this bottom right container to get roots and press B. Get the seed bottle in the bottom left and press B. Interact with the bluish container up here to get saline solution and press B, and then interact with the frog that was behind the saline solution. Press B twice to zoom all the way out, and we're going to LB a little bit here and then stop here to get to this indent. Interact with it to zoom in on a lion tray, and we're going to grab the scalpel. Press B twice and RB slightly to the next indent here. Interact with it, and we're going to use the right analog to select the frog and interact with the drain over here twice. And then a third time to drain the ethanol out of the frog jar. We're going to press B to zoom out, and we need to select the scalpel using the right analog and interact with the frog once to zoom in and again to cut poor Mr. Hoppington, I'm sorry, Lord Hoppington open. Once you regain control, there's going to be a container sitting next to Lord Hoppington. So go ahead and interact with it. It's blue, even though it looks more purple than blue to me. Press B twice to zoom out. Get down in this bottom left area to grab this container where we dumped the ethanol. Press B and interact with the jar of seeds on the bottom right to get seed. Press B twice, and now we need to RB across the entire room to that pipe puzzle over there. So hold RB, and once you get here, interact with the pipe puzzle twice to zoom in. This is very easy once you get control back. You just need to point all of the 6 handles down, and I'm pretty sure you just hit each one once, if I remember correctly. So hit the handle so that they all face down, and then hit the handle on the right to solve the puzzle. Now you need to select any of the seed bottles in your inventory. So we have one selected, and interact with the colorful areas down here twice to start another puzzle. We need to pick up the seeds with A and move them into above whatever beaker they're supposed to be. So the first one, the red one, needs to be this half light, half dark seed. So pick it up with A and drop it over there. The yellow one is the long striped seed. The green is the round plain seed. So swap that over. The light blue is the long plain seed, and the blue is the round striped seed. So once they are in position, hit check to solve the puzzle. An indent's going to open up on the right after Clover thanks us for sowing our seeds. Press B once, interact with the indent, and grab the red capsule. Press B twice to zoom out. LB, excuse me, you may have to press B again. That was my bad. And we're going to LB to this indent with the mixer that this machine that we passed over earlier. Apologies for that. We need to use right analog to select any of the seed containers. Interact with the mixer once, twice, and then a third time. And we'll dump all of the seeds in. Once you get control back, we need to interact or use right analog to select the saline solution and interact with the top. And again, go into your inventory if you're having trouble, making sure you get the saline solution. And then just press B when you have the saline solution highlighted. We need to highlight the liquid waste tank next. So just proof of concept, I'm going to show you how to do that. By going into your inventory first and then pressing B on it. But the tank is pretty easy to tell. Once you have the tank selected, interact with the mixer again. Now use the right analog to select one of these empty capsules and interact with the mixer to get the capsule filled, and it will be a yellow capsule. Now, before exiting, hover over the root, which is this one, press B, and interact with the mixer to put the root in. Again, we're going to need to use the right analog to get to the saline solution, and interact with the mixer to dump the saline in. And again, we're going to have to choose the liquid waste tank so we can dump the ethanol in. Once you get control, we're going to select our other empty capsule and interact with the machine to get the green capsule. Sorry, I pressed A there when I shouldn't have. Press B 3 times to zoom all the way out, and LB back to this microscope. Use the right analog to select the yellow one, interact with the microscope once, interact with the top to get some text, and then interact with the top again to input or put the yellow capsule in. The monitor will light up and can interact with it to get the blue password. That gives you the blue save password. And you'll automatically zoom out. Hit right analog once to get the blue capsule and interact with the top of the microscope. Hit RB once, or right analog once to get the red capsule and interact with the top of the microscope. And use right analog to get the green capsule and put that in the top of the microscope. This is going to start a puzzle. Interact with the viewers of the microscope. When we get to look at some DNA, we're going to move our cursor around, and we can actually move rows left to right by hitting A on the row and moving the left analog left and right. And we need to line up the letters properly. So we need to grab row 2 here. I number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Grab row 2, and it needs to read GAT, GCT from left to right. So we're going to move it like this, and that is... Now all the letters are touching each other. That means you've properly aligned it. Go to row 4 and move it until it says GTG TAC. So like that. And then grab row 5, this one here, and move it left until it reads CTG CTA. And you solve the puzzle. Interact with the monitor to get the green safe password. Now interact with the safe twice, and we're going to input the green safe password first. So the green one is Moon, Moon, Sun. Again, yours is going to be different. But once we put it in, we'll get the same items out of the safe. You're going to get a map and a key card that we already got. So interact with the safe first. You're going to get the map. We got that already, so it doesn't count for our files. We're going to get the moon cards, which we already got in a different room, so they don't count as a new file. We will get the researcher's journal, which is a new file, file number 19. And we got a bottle of Excelavir, which is file number 20. And then you get the key found in safe like usual. Press B twice to exit out, and then close the safe, and then interact with the safe twice more. We now need to put the blue safe password in, which is star moon star. Again, yours is different from mine, so put in whatever you have. And once it opens, we're going to grab the gold file. Press B twice to zoom out all of the way, and we're going to LB all the way to the exit door, past where we got the scalpel earlier. You may have noticed it if you went too far. Make sure you have the key found in safe equipped using the right analog, and interact with the lock 3 times to get out of the room. Before we go any further, I'm going to stop you here. We actually are going to skip to the next AB game, but we're not going to vote in it. So, just a heads up, read or skip to the next AB game, and then make sure you're paying attention before you hit start, because we're actually not going to be completing the next AB game. This is only a partial playthrough. So, go ahead and finish the room and read or skip to the next AB game. However you want to get there, that's entirely up to your preference. Just rejoin us when we get to the start of the AB game. We're going to start skipping. And eventually we'll reach the next AB game. Okay, so we made it. Go ahead and press A. For those of you that are reading, you don't have to do anything, but if you are skipping text, excuse me, let me explain that better. If you are just reading, the game automatically moves on to the next text option and stops, which is okay. For those of us that are skipping, we have to press A and immediately press X to stop skipping. So press A to start this. For those that are reading, it'll move on to the next text box and you're fine. For those that are skipping, once you hit A, press X almost immediately so that you stop the text skipping. And then once Clover starts to talk, we are going to hit the \select/menu/whatever it's called button, and we're going to open up our flowchart. What we need to do is we need to go all the way back up before the yellow door. So we need to get to this novel here. Press A on it. It should say into the CDs. Press A on it again and hit yes to load it up. Again, you can almost immediately get to the choice. And we need to go through the magenta door with Luna. Again, this will bring you to an escape room, so just read or skip to whatever. There are only 2 files in this room, and we are skipping quite a bit of it, so just keep that in mind. We're going to start facing the bar, immediately LB to the couch, and interact with the left pillow twice. We're going to interact with that magazine there. To get file number 21 of 52, press B to zoom out, and LB to the cabinet with the safe. Interact with the doors on the bottom, and interact with the left door, interact with the note, and this will get you file number 22 of 52. Press B to zoom out, and LB all the way back to the bar. We're going to interact with these 3 glasses here, interact with the one on the right to get 2 needles, press B, and then get an empty glass, and then grab the other 2 empty glasses here. Press B twice to back out, and we're going to interact with the bottles behind the bar. We need to grab all but the yellow one up top. So grab the red, the white, the green, and the blue, and then grab all 5 of the bottles down here. Press B after the last one and zoom out, and now we interact with the mixer here. So we're going to be skipping a lot of figuring all of this out and just making the drinks. Something to keep in mind is to place bottles, interact with the tops of the machine. Don't hit the button, but like if you're placing an alcohol, the top of the machine should be interacted with. Do not press the bottles that are hanging out, because instead of replacing the bottle with what you have equipped, you'll just grab the bottle that's sitting there, and it'll screw up what drink you're making. You'll have to redo all of it. So, first things first, use your right analog and grab an empty glass and interact with the inside of the mixer to place it. We're going to use the right bumper to select the blue liquor bottle and interact with the top of the mixer to place it as such. And we got to select the correct bottle of alcohol now, which is very difficult because all 5 of them look the same in the preview screen. So hit Y to open your inventory and find the ocean bottle. Once you have the ocean bottle selected, press B and interact with the top of the mixer. Once you have both of them sitting there, press the blue button to make your drink. You will get the blue ocean made, so click on it to confirm it says blue ocean. And now, before exiting, hover over the bottle of alcohol island. Press B to zoom out, interact with the top of the mixer, and this will replace the ocean alcohol with the island alcohol. And now we need to select the white liquor. So do that, interact with the top of the mixer to replace the blue one. And now we need to select one of our empty glasses and put it in the mixer and hit the blue button. This will make us a white island. Go ahead and interact with the drink to get the white island. And again, before you exit, hover over the planet alcohol. Here, press B, interact with the top of the mixer to replace the island alcohol with the planet alcohol. RB to the red liquor and interact with the top of the mixer to replace that. Find your final empty glass, place it in the mixer, and hit the blue button to make a red planet. Interact with the red planet, press B twice to zoom out, interact with the 3 spots where the glasses were to zoom in, and now we need to place the 3 drinks along these places here. The red planet should still be selected. If not, select it, and we're going to place it on the right. Now find the white island and place it in the middle, and find the blue ocean and place it on the left. This will cause the monitor to light up blue. And that gives you the blue safe password. Once the monitor goes back to white, interact with the red drink to grab it, interact with the white drink to grab it, and interact with the blue drink to grab it. Press B to zoom out, and we're going to interact with this hole underneath the mixer, which is a drain. We need to throw our 3 drinks out so we can get the glasses back to make 3 more. So interact with the drain. You should still have the blue drink selected, so you'll dump the blue drink down, and that'll give you an empty glass back. Select the white drink and the drain to drain that one. And now select the red drink and interact with the drain to drain that. And now you have 3 empty glasses again. Press B once to zoom out, and then interact with the mixer to zoom in. We already have planet alcohol sitting in here, so select the blue liquor. Interact with the top. Interact with an empty glass and put it in the mixer. And hit blue, the blue button, excuse me, and this will make you a blue planet. Pick up the blue planet, and again, we're going to hover over the alcohol bottle we need, which is the moon, before backing out. So hover over the moon, press B, interact with the top of the mixer. This will replace the planet alcohol with the moon alcohol. We now need to get the red liquor, interact with the top of the machine, and then find yourself one of the empty glasses and place it in the mixer. Now press the blue button. Interact with the drink to get the red moon. Again, hover over the sun alcohol before exiting. There we go, the sun alcohol. Press B, interact with the top of the mixer to place the sun alcohol. Find the green liquor bottle and interact with the top. Find one of your empty glasses and place them in the mixer. Well, you should only have one left, so place it in the mixer and then press the blue button. This should get you the green sun. Press B twice to zoom out and interact with the 3 places to zoom in again. The green sun, which should still be selected, goes on the right. The red moon should go on the left. And the blue planet goes in the center. This will light up the monitor with a green light and give you the green safe password. So interact with it. Press B to zoom out. We're going to RB back to the shelving unit with the safe and interact with it twice. and we're going to put the green safe password in first. So hit your archive and check what your password is. We got moon to moon sun. Again, yours is going to be different than mine, but put in your green safe password. And again, most of the things, in fact, all of the things in this safe are files we've already gotten in other escapes. So interact with the safe. You're going to get the map, you'll get the sun cards, you'll get more rules, and then finally you'll get the key found in safe. Excuse me. Once you get the key, press B once to exit your inventory and again to zoom out and close the safe. Then interact with the safe twice more, and this time we have to put the blue password in. And mine is sun, sun, moon. Again, yours will be different. Put it in and open the safe. We're going to get the gold file here. Press B to zoom out. We're going to LB to the escape door, which is always the one with the lock next to it. Interact with the lock 3 times, making sure you have the key found in safe selected, and this will end the escape room. We did skip a good portion of the room, so Phi starts to mention something before we leave, just so we know about it. Just like before, we're going to be skipping text up to another A-B game, or the next option or dialogue is an A-B game. If you are reading everything, some of the text that comes up next is skippable because it is repetitive from what we've already read. So if you're not skipping everything and we're trying to read, you can skip some of the dialogue next. Otherwise, just go ahead and skip everything to the next A-B game. And I'll have to repeat this for those that are reading anyways, but I think I'm going to split this up into 3 different sections instead of 2. I was hoping to do 2 2-hour sections, and I might be looking at a couple or 3 hour and a halves or something like that instead. So once you get to the A-B game, go ahead and press A to start it. Again, I'm just going to repeat what I was saying. I might be splitting VLR up into 3 videos instead of 2. Just a heads up. I'm making that executive decision now. Press A to start your A-B game. Skip or read, and then we need to choose Betray. So choose Betray, and again, you're going to be searching all 3 of the rooms again. Just like we have been, we're going to go through the lounge, infirmary, and crew quarters until we get to our next escape room. So again, however you want to go through, if you want to read, since our partners were different, for those of you that are reading, you're not going to be able to skip everything in here. You will have to read everything. So, sorry about that. Even though generally some of the information is different, but some of it does repeat. So, we're going to go through the rooms in order, starting with the lounge. the infirmary, and the crew quarters. And it'll lead us to our next room. And we've made it to the panties, which is what Clover said was on the door. We're in the pantry. There are 6 files for us to find in this room. None of them are in the safe, so they are all found while searching the room itself. We're going to start facing a corner. RB slightly so that you can see in between these 2 shelving units. Interact with the door once, twice, and then a 3rd time to open it. And we're going to interact with the binder to get 2 files, number 23 and number 24. Press B once to back out, and you'll see something red down here. Interact with the corner as best you can where the red is, and we need to press these 2 red buttons. Once you do, press B once and then again to back all the way out. LB slightly so you see the other side of the cabinet here. Interact with it to zoom in, and then zoom in on the 2 red buttons to open these both up as well. This will allow us to move the cabinet. Once you regain control, interact with the cabinet door once and then again to open it. And we're going to grab the binder here, which is file number 25, and the pH detection chemical, which we won't be using. Press B once, twice, and 3 times to back all the way out. And we're going to LB slightly to get to this colorful little machine here. Interact with it once to zoom in, and we need to grab all 4 of these containers. So acidic, neutral, and the 2 basics. Yeah, basic. Twice. Press B once you get the last one. Interact with the drawer over here. Interact with the inside of the drawer and you will get a metal piece. Press B to back out. You drop the drawer and you get warm drawer. Press B twice once to exit inventory and again to zoom out. We're going to interact with the safe, and there's this little blue thing on the right. Interact with that to get button parts. Press Y on button part and then highlight metal piece and press Y again to make a button. Press B to exit the inventory and then press B again to zoom out. We're going to interact with this kind of table looking thing and then interact with this button down or hole down here with next to the stickers. With the button selected using the right analog, interact with the hole to place the button. And then interact with the button to engage it or unlock it. Press B once to zoom out and interact with the top portion to get a little dialogue before you start a minigame. It's another sliding puzzle just like the one we had in the elevator. It's a little bit different than that though. So you're going to use the D-pad to follow along with my directions. So go right, down, left, down, right, down, left, right, down, left, and down. This solves it. Go ahead and interact with the top to open it, and then grab the ice cube to get ice cubes. Press Y before exiting, and we're going to combine the ice cube with the warm drawer. So press Y on the warm drawer to put the ice in it. Press B once, twice, and 3 times to zoom out. Interact with this colorful kiosk again. Make sure you have the warm drawer with ice in it. and interact with the slot where the drawer went before. You get a little dialogue when you first interact, and then you'll have to interact with it again to slide the drawer in. After a few seconds of waiting, press A on the drawer again to open it up, interact with the card, and you'll get ID card. Press B once to back out, and again to zoom out, and LB to see a water machine here in between the two doors. Interact with the machine once to zoom in. Select one of the basic water containers. I'm going to do it through the inventory. And we need to select +3. So select +3, then with one of the basic water containers selected, interact with the faucet. I think you have to interact with it twice. Now that you're in the inventory with a water-filled basic container, hover over the other basic water container that is empty and press B, and now interact with the faucet again to also fill that one up. Now you have two water-filled basic containers. We need to hover over the neutral empty container and press B, and then we're going to hit the +1 button and interact with the faucet to fill up the neutral water container to fill it up. And finally, hover over the acidic empty container, press B. We're going to hit the -2 button, and then interact with the faucet to fill up the acidic container. Press B once, and then again to zoom out, and we're going to LB slightly to a corner with a monitor. Interact with the monitor, and then interact with this calendar-looking thing on the wall. That gives you files 25, 26, and 27. Now interact with the monitor, and we're going to be spending a good minute or two with this monitor here. So basically this is just an input. We have to, the game automatically selects these 3 sections as we go through. So we need to pick 1, 2, 3 to go in the front, or 4, 5, 6 to go in the front, 7, 8, 9, etc., etc. Our first solution is 1, 2, 3, E3. So what we need to do is hit 1, 2, 3, and that puts 1, 2, 3 in there. Now we need to hit E to put E in there, and we need to hit 3 to put 3 at the end. Then hit check. That is the first solution, and the game automatically zooms you out so that it shows you one of the containers being popped out of the wall. Interact with the monitor again, and we have 5 more codes we need to put in. The first one is 1, 2, 3, B, 14, and then hit check. And another box will pop out. Interact with the monitor again. This time hit 4, 5, 6, A, and 7, and then check. Interact with the monitor again, hit 7, 8, 9, A, and 6, and check. And then one more time to finish this section off. We need 10, 11, 12, G, and 6, and then hit check. Now that solves that portion of the puzzle, but we need to interact with it again. So once we get control, interact with the monitor one more time, and we're going to get a safe password with this one. So interact with it and press 10, 11, 12, B, and 13, and hit check. The monitor is going to light up blue. and we get the blue safe password. Press B to zoom out when you're done. LB very slightly and interact with this 10, 11, 12 section, and you'll automatically zoom in on the box. Press A on it to get box of pasta rations. Press B to exit your inventory and zoom out. LB and interact with the 7, 8, 9 section to repeat the process and get box of soup. Press B, LB to the 4, 5, 6, interact with it, and then grab the box of salad rations. Press B, LB to the 1, 2, 3, interact with the upper portion to zoom in and get the box of meat rations. Press B, hover over the bottom section, press A, and grab the box of fish rations. Press B to exit your inventory and zoom away. LB back to this kiosk with the colorful boxes. Press A to zoom in, and with any of the rations selected, interact with any of these 5 holes. We're going to have to put all 5 of the rations back in, so just select them and interact with the holes to put them back. The game automatically puts them in the proper slot there, as you saw. Now we need to select the water containers and put them back down below. It doesn't really matter what order. I don't think. I think it automatically fixes them, or it doesn't matter either way. Now we need to interact with the monitor. Use the right analog to select the ID card and interact with the slot below the monitor to turn it on. Interact with the monitor to start a puzzle. So this puzzle is a lot more straightforward than it looks. We basically just need to balance someone's diet. That's all there is. So we need to move some of these around. You can see if I grab one with A, I can move it to another slot. What we need to do is move this first red one in B over to the second slot in C. That gives us C's slots done. We now need to take this blue and move it over here so that we get 2 greens in the B slot and 2 blues over at D. And then we need to take the purple here and move it over to this slot, and that will lock up the B section. Now we need to get a green over to D, so grab the purple and swap it with the green in E, and that will get all 5 of the columns in the proper order to solve the puzzle. And that gives us the green safe password. So interact with the monitor to get that, and then zoom out. We're going to interact with the safe and enter the green password. Sun star star for me. It'll be different for you though. And we already got all of the files from inside this safe in other escape rooms, so none of it is new. We get the map and the key cards, and then we'll eventually get the key found in safe. Press B once you get the key, and then press B again so you zoom out and close the safe. Then interact with the safe twice more to zoom in and enter the blue safe password. Moon, moon, sun for me. It'll be different for you. Grab the gold file. Press B to zoom out, and we're going to LB slightly to reach the lock. Make sure you have the key found in safe selected and interact with the lock 3 times to exit the room. Again, if you're reading, you're just going to be reading to the next AB game, so feel free to read until you get there and then rejoin us. Otherwise, we're just going to start skipping once we get out. Okay, we're at the A-B game. Go ahead and press A to start. And just a warning, again, once we pick our option here, it is nothing but text to the end of the game. So if you are reading, feel free to just read until the very end and the credits start. Sorry about that. Audio messed up a little bit. For those of you that are reading, and if anyone's trying to do this on their own with their own information, keep in mind you're going to be getting a code in the next text that leads up to the ending that the game does not remember for you, so you need to write it down yourself. Now, if you're following along with me, I know what the code is. It doesn't change from playthrough to playthrough. Excuse me, so I will be giving that to you. But for those of you that are attempting to do things on your own as much as possible, keep in mind that if you're reading, you need to write down the code that pops up during this ending. Other than that, you can just read up until the ending. There's nothing else to do, no dialogue options or escape rooms or puzzles or anything up until the next ending. So for those of us that are skipping, we're just going to choose our option and skip. For those of you that are reading, pay attention as you're going through, because there will be a code you need to write down if you're attempting to do things on your own. If you don't care about that, again, I will tell you what the code is when we need to use it later on, so don't worry about writing it down. We are choosing Betray for this, so go ahead and pick Betray. And then we'll just meet up at the end. Once the credits start, you can skip them now because you've seen them once before. So press A to skip them, and you'll see DO End pop up, and we'll get our 13th achievement behind Blue Eyes, 30G, getting us to 330 out of 1,000. We're going to press A to advance. We're going to save. And that's going to be the end of this portion, I think, folks. My voice is starting to go a little bit, so I think I'm going to split this up. Press B to go back to the flowchart. If you want to, you don't have to. Going back to this novel here will allow you to choose Ally and see another bad ending. But again, we're not going to be covering any of the bad endings in this playthrough. We're going to go from Dio here. We're going to go up 1, right 1, and up 6 times to this choice here. Hit A on it. It should say into the CDs. Hit A and yes to load it up. And when we jump in, I'm gonna just save here, and this is where we're going to restart with our second video. in the second part of our VLR walkthrough. So again, folks, if you have any questions or comments for me, as always, let me know and I'll do my best to answer them. If not, I will see you guys in the next part of our VLR walkthrough.